in a universe. And we all have the ability to tap into our deepest dreams. You can learn and grow at your own speed, and build a business based on your own needs. Well, I bet you didn't know you could make money from your home and take control of your security. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that you could make it on your own and take good care of your family. Why do we wait until tomorrow when we could do it today? Step out of your comfort zone and take a leap of faith. You can learn and grow at your own speed, and build a business based on your own needs. Well, I bet you didn't know you could make money from your home and take control of your security. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that you could make it on your own and take good care of your family. Bedrock bookkeepers rock it from their home. Bedrock bookkeepers make it on their own. Bedrock bookkeepers living in the zone. Well, I bet you didn't know you could make money from your home and take control of your security. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that you could make it on your own and take good care of your family. Well, I bet you didn't know you could make money from your home and take control of your security. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that you could make it on your own and take good care of your family. Well, I bet you didn't know you could make money from your home and take control of your security. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that you could make it on your own and take good care of your family.
Magandang araw po sa lahat. Ako si Malana, and I'm working as an online accountant and bookkeeper for almost 2 years. I was part of the batch 2 of the 13-week course for accountants and tax preparers. So that was around August last year. And then I have this client which I got from Upwork. The client has a huge problem on her books. So I think of Bedrock. I think of Joe, because I know very well that Joe is really genuine, sincere in helping small business owners in the US. So what I did is I told my client to book a call with Joe so that she can directly communicate with Joe and mention about her business, not only cleaning up her books, but Joe can also help her in organizing her financials. For me, Bedrock Partnership Program, in one word, it's more on learning. Since I am part of the partnership program, so I learn a lot from Joe directly because we are working on the same client. So working with Joe means lots of learnings about US accounting, about US taxation. So it's learning. from August up to now, I continue to learn so many things from Joe because we are working on the same books. So that means that I learn so many practical things from him. So that's actually one of the precious and most valuable thing that I benefit from Bedrock. I can't believe actually that Joe is mentioning to me that, okay, Malona, let us have a call. So I told myself, what? A free call with him around 30 minutes, 1 hour, or more than 1 hour. So imagine, saan ka makakita ng US accountant na magbibigay sa'yo ng ganun kahabang oras, tapos ganun ka-valuable, yung pinagkukwentuhan nyo, ganun ka-valuable, yung tinuturo niya sa'yo. That is the most precious and valuable thing that I learned from Joe. Humility, and at the same time, the learnings that no one can ever get that from me. That you have to get this chance to be partner of Bedrock because not only the monetary amount that we receive from affiliate fees, but also the learnings that we can get being a Bedrock partner. So that is my message to all the online accountants and bookkeepers or students of Bedrock. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, especially Joe, for an incredible US payroll masterclass. What stood out to me wasn't just a technical know-how, but Joe's real-life insights and advice. It's been both motivating and inspiring, truly a game changer for me. His experiences actually brought the lessons to life, making the complex seem simple. So cheers to what we've learned and to where we're headed, armed with knowledge and inspiration. Thank you.
I'm so happy. I'm grateful to be part of this masterclass. I'm grateful for the Bedrock team and especially to Joe for supporting us Filipinos to undergo this kind of training and giving us this opportunity. This is a big deal for me because I'm already I'm employed for how many years already, and I want to pursue what my passion is. And doing this, I try to make this payroll as a great niche for me, and to discover this great opportunity, also explore. Thank you so much, Bedrock, and I know this is a lifetime support from you. Thank you so much, Joe.
I've enrolled in tax preparation before, so I was there at the second jump start, and I think Joe and the Bedrock team, I have learned a lot, and I was recently hired as an email assistant in an accounting firm. So I was the assistant of the owner of the accounting team, and I encountered payroll questions, and here in the payroll course, the information provided was incredibly helpful. I learned a lot, and I thank everyone for that.
First of all, I am so pleasure to be part of Bedrock. I didn't expect that I would be able to finish it because of the time. That is the most thing that hinder me to finish everything. But thank you very much for Miss Eileen for helping me to pursue it. And I do believe in Bedrock, I learn more and upscale my knowledge. Although I've been doing accounting since I graduated here in the Philippines, I believe that having learning a new knowledge, especially from other countries, is a big opportunity for me. So I'm doing this not because I would like to earn more. presently I am comfortable already, and but I know I know that if I learn something, I will gain more.
I'm undergraduate college student, and my course is accountancy. I have frustration because here in the Philippines, when you are not graduate, you don't have chance to work in an accounting firm. So my frustration, when I watched the video about the tax agent, when I joined in the accounting people's group, I said uh I said to myself that I can do it even though I'm not graduate in accounting. I can improve myself po kahit even though po na hindi ako graduate ng accounting here in the Philippines. And I said to myself po na kaya ko to kahit na international yung accounting na pag-aaralan ko. Then when I was in college, kasi I know nung time na yun na hindi ako makaka-graduate because of financial. Then tumatak sa isip ko na okay, meron pang pag-asa, not here in the Philippines. But kahit nandito ako sa Philippines, I can work in US, I said to myself. Then, on, I always checking my online job. Nag-rate ako online job way back 2014 na sa platform na yun. But hindi ako nag-apply kasi I know na I'm not yet skilled. And then, nung sabi ko, I always praying na, Lord, kapag nagka-family ako, okay lang po ba na I can work from home? Kasi I don't want to raise my child ng malayo sa kanya. And then, after ko manganak, I got job na tumulong sa akin yung best friend ko nung college na naipasok niya ako sa international accounting din siya, but through her po, tinanggap ako kahit hindi ako graduate. And then, sabi ko, ito na yung start na pwede ko na i-upskill yung sarili ko. And then, I tried din po na mag-apply online job na kasi meron na ako konting confidence na mag-bookkeeping. And then, nakakuha ako, nagulat ako kasi ang mga nakikita kong testimony sa Facebook na more months or years sila bago sila nakakuha ng client. Then nagulat po ako, nakuha ko months pa lang. And nung time na yun, struggling din po ako pero nakuha ko yung client na yun. Then sobrang thankful ko habang sobrang tinreasure ko yung client na yun kahit low rate lang siya kasi gusto ko talaga magkaroon ng experience. Then sabi ko, meron na akong budget to enroll. Akala ko hindi ko siya makakompleto kasi dumating yung year end doon kung saan ako nag-work. Sobrang tight ng schedule. Sobrang hindi ko alam kung yung pagod ko kasi syempre puyatan sa work tapos meron pa tayong training. Yun nga, nana ko pa rin na makahabol ako sa mga assignments kahit na late na yung mga iba kong submit. Then yun, thankful ako nung last na video call with Miss I, sinabi niya sa akin na pwede pang makahabol nga yung kay Miss Juliet. Hindi ako nawalan ng pag-asa nung sabi ko makakagraduate din ako dito. Then ayun nga, na nakasama ako sa graduation. Thank you. Thanks Joe for your courses. Sobrang helpful po talaga.
You have provided us throughout the payroll course. As someone who has no background in accounting, I really had a hard time, but the way you made the topics accessible and engaging, and you always ensure that we understood the material thoroughly. The knowledge that I've gained from this course is not only theoretical but also practical. I am especially thankful for your patience and encouragement, Joe, which have motivated me to strive for excellence.
This course is not a walk in the park. It needs true dedication and the resolve to, to finish it and see it through. So I had to muster all courage. And it is a milestone, and I am very proud of what we have accomplished. It's not really easy, but you can see that before I thought that I will not be able to do this. I thought this is a very hard work. I thank Joe for opening this opportunity to us Filipinos. All of us will become successful, of course, with God's help, and I congratulate you all also.
I just want
Welcome to the Jumpstart Your Freelance Accounting Career community, a vibrant network dedicated to empowering professionals who aspire to work from home and build successful freelance careers. Our community is designed for accountants and bookkeepers across the Philippines, offering a supportive environment where members can share insights, resources, and experiences. We believe in the power of collaboration and continuous learning, providing access to valuable tools, resources, and expert advice that will help you thrive in the freelance landscape. Whether you're just starting out or looking to enhance your skills, our community is here to guide you every step of the way. Benefits of joining Jumpstart Your Freelance Accounting Career community. Essential tools and resources. Gain access to curated productivity tools and resources tailored for accountants and bookkeepers. Flexible work environment. Embrace the freedom of working from home with guidance on setting up your workspace for maximum productivity. Freelancing basics. Learn how to kickstart your freelance career with tips on client acquisition, proposal writing, and effective communication. Pathway to CPA. Explore opportunities and resources to pursue your CPA designation while balancing your freelance work. CFO skill development. Enhance your financial management skills to market yourself as a chief financial officer for small businesses. U.S. tax preparation services. Discover how to offer specialized services like U.S. tax preparation, expanding your client base internationally. Build your own tax agency. Get insights into establishing your own U.S. tax agency, including marketing strategies and operational best practices. This community is not just a network, it's a launchpad for your freelance journey. Join us to connect with like-minded professionals, share knowledge, and unlock new opportunities in the accounting and bookkeeping fields.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for gathering all of us today in this important endeavor. We ask that you bestow your guidance and blessing upon each attendant. May we honor one another by keeping an open mind. May we voice our truth and listen with an open heart. Bless everyone present today, and that each may be able to share his or her contributions and gifts. Grant good health and safety to loved ones left outside this room, and bestow peace and goodwill to all of us. We ask for your wisdom and grace to use our talents for the betterment of others. May the various activities related to this day be a success through your intervention. With gratitude, we offer this prayer in your name. Amen.
Okay, good morning, Jump Starters, and good afternoon, Mr. Duswalt. Today, we have another awesome training. We're going to do it in the form of an interview. This gentleman was kind enough to say yes when I asked him, and And he's one of the people actually that taught me to always say yes. And so what could I say? This gentleman, I've known him for a long time. He's a brother from another mother. Literally is a fraternity brother. I went to college with this gentleman. I like to joke around a lot. I don't like to give him any credit, but the truth is, I probably wouldn't be where I am today without Mr. Duswalt. So, without further ado, Mr. Duswalt, are you here?
I am here, Joey.
You're here.
Well, thank you
Wow.
for kind words. I love you too, brother.
Yes, I do love you. And you are a rock star. You are a rock
Well, I
star.
don't know about that, but I toured with Rockstars. So
You know a lot of rock
I
stars, and
know
you've introduced me to a ton of rock stars like Larry Bratton.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, so I don't even know where to start, but let's start at the beginning when you you decided to go to college to be a zoology major, correct?
I did. I went to State University of New York at Oswego, which none of you have ever heard of, but it's upstate New York. And I went to that college because I wanted to be a zoology major, even though I really didn't know what zoologists did. I found out they're basically zookeepers and they make like $1 an hour. So I was like, screw that. So I became a business major soon after my first semester. I said, I need to make a little bit more money than that.
Yes. And and we met through our friend Mike Beekman,
Yep,
right?
Beaker. Yeah.
And Mike was a member of a fraternity. And I'll
Yeah.
never forget because I had my first mentor. He was a CPA. He was trying to he was coaching me. He's still coaching me to how to become a CPA. And it's funny because I didn't even know what a CPA did, Craig.
I still
Well,
don't know what you guys do.
I all I knew was that CPAs ran businesses, and that's what I wanted to do.
There you go.
So that's where we met, and we met because my mentor at the time, my cousin Benny, told me I should join a fraternity,
Mm.
and I said, all they do is drink beer. I remember it like it was yesterday. He's like, no, you wind up having friends for life, and not only that, you can cheat on test.
Yeah,
Uh,
we don't
so
talk about that much there, Joe. But yeah, exactly. They somehow, one fraternity brother would somehow get the test somehow, and we'd all have access to it. So yeah. But I
so
won't admit that on film.
so yeah, this is being recorded. So I just want to give people a taste of what we're going to learn today because it's all about learning. Uh, one thing I learned about the Philippine community, Craig, is they love to learn.
Oh, good.
And you've taught me a lot. It was kind of hard to believe because so what happened when Craig and I actually survived
Hell no.
college, we both actually graduated. A lot of our fraternity brothers didn't graduate. That's a whole nother story. But Craig went on to start a career, uh, long career. We don't have enough time to talk about everything that you've done. Uh, but you wound up, we reconnected and you had started this mastermind group, right, in California. And what touched me was, and I'd like you to talk about, the story with Natasha, because that's really what touched me. And I said, I think Craig needs a friend, and maybe I'll join his mastermind group and help him out. But what you promised and you delivered on and I never thanked you for this. You said, I will make you a rock star in your industry.
There you go, baby.
Yeah. And I was like,
Joe
that's interesting.
in
An
his-
accounting rock star.
There you go. There you go.
What you didn't tell me was I was going to have to travel halfway around the world to
You know,
do
so
it.
I've been to the Philippines numerous times with Air Supply and Guns N' Roses. Has anyone been to an Air Supply or Guns N' Roses show in your world over there?
I don't. So that's a good question. So give us in the chat. We do a lot of things in the chat here, Craig.
Yeah, I just want to see if anyone ever has been to an Air Supply show or a Guns N' Roses show. And
Yeah, give me.
if you did you go backstage?
Yeah. So give me a 1 for Air Supply, a 2 for Guns N' Roses, or a 3 for both. If you've ever seen one of
Well,
those, one or both of those bands. Yeah.
I'm going to do a 3. Their tickets are expensive. Oh, I hate that. Sorry, that I had nothing to do with the prices of tickets.
Not yet. They're still touring.
Yeah, they are.
They're still touring. Yeah. So
we Air Supply is huge in the Philippines, and then again, so is Guns N' Roses. And I loved going there. It was just an amazing audience, good people, you know. So anyway, let's move on to the mastermind. I was just curious.
So you know, Larry's here once a month, and he does, you know, every month. You know, Larry does a really good training,
Sure.
and you know, we like to spend time learning about something.
Okay.
So, what do you think you could teach us today?
I could teach you how to sing if anyone wants to do
No,
that.
we don't want.
Can't do that anyway. So I'm a marketing guy. So everything I do has to do with getting people to find out who you are, why you do what you do, and eventually maybe buy your product or service. And that's basically what I do. How do you position yourself as an expert and or celebrity in your field so that people want to learn from you, associate with you, be in the same room as you, and they just want to be around you? Why do you guys come once a week to Joe's webinar on Friday morning? Because he's positioned himself as an expert in his field, and we call him a rock star. And all rock star means is that you are respected and by people that are in your industry and people that want to be in your industry, or people that want to be your client because you're so good at what you do. So, and that's all done through marketing. And that's basically what I teach is marketing. Now, I teach outside the box marketing because there's standard marketing, which I teach at my seminars, but I kind of gloss over that because what I really want people to do is do things differently than what we learned in school on how to market your business, you know. So, and I do seminars, I do webinars. I have a mastermind with about 110 people in the mastermind. We meet twice a week. Joe's on that call and we brainstorm. We just say, all right, I'm trying this, it's not working. What else can I do to position myself as an expert in my field so that I could get more clients and teach people what I know so that they'll learn what I know.
Right. And you've taught me a lot. And one thing that we come across a lot, and Larry does a lot of his trainings based on this, is stepping out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Especially so what I teach people, I teach Philippine people how to do US accounting. U.S. taxes, which are completely different than how the Philippines do it, Frank.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, Debbie Morgan wouldn't like it here.
That's good though.
But part of the training, it's not just the technical stuff, it's learning a lot of the stuff that you've taught me, how to, because you know, if anybody's going to do business with the U.S. Company, there's no way around the Zoom meeting, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are uncomfortable in front of the camera, and I was. For a long, I
Yeah, yeah,
mean,
yeah. You've gotten so good at it, and all it is doing it and then doing it over and over. Look, when I first started as a speaker, so I'm a speaker. I put on events, large events where people fly in from all over, actually the world, and I teach them marketing. But I'm not trained, in speaking. And the first time I got up there, Adam Ace, who Joe knows in my mastermind, he put together a joke videotape that was like 5 minutes long of every time I said the word. So when I
oh
first spoke,
God.
it's like, so please take a seat. I'd like you to welcome you to my seminar because I'm going to teach you really really cool stuff. So I was like, I didn't realize I was doing it. I was just talking and speaking, and then he pointed it out, and he played it about 5 years later at my seminar because now I've gotten really good at it. So now he could bash me. But in the beginning, I sucked. I was horrible. But I was passionate about what I did. And I learned over time to get better at it. But if you don't do it the first time, here's the beauty. I teach people to write a book, I teach people to do a podcast, and I teach people to put on events. In other words, speak in front of people at a hotel, at a community center, whatever you guys have, like lunch and learns. So speak in front of people, which is the scariest thing in the world to do, is to speak in front of people. But you're going to do it the first time on a podcast. And here's the beauty of doing it a podcast the first time. No one's going to listen to you because you don't have an audience yet. So you can screw up left and right and just do it like every week like Joe does. And the beauty of it, like I said, no one's going to listen to you in the beginning. So those are your practice podcasts. But over time, you'll get better at it. And that's with anything. I've written 14 books. My first book was, but now my 14th book is really, really good because I keep doing books over and over. Like I said, my speaking, the first time, not so good, lots of ums. But now I hardly say at all, I think.
Are you sure about that?
I don't know. But I definitely do it way less than I did.
So, Larry talked about that, and he shared, and every time he talks about something, it's like, oh my God, I had no idea, because, you look at Larry and it's like, oh, everything he does turns to gold, right?
Yeah.
No, he talked about the first. Did he ever tell you about the first time he spoke?
Yes, he just did it. He spoke at my Dallas event last month, and he told that story. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think what I've learned, Craig, is the only way to solve it is to do it.
Yep. 100%.
All the, thousands of books that I read on the subject, all the people, and, it dawned on me, and I tell this story one day, because it used to be like, it would be, oh, I'm going to speak at Craig's event in 6 months. And it was terrifying. Oh, I'm going to be up there for 5 minutes. What am I? And I would spend 6 months torturing myself. Right.
Yeah.
And then you go up there and 5 minutes is done. You're like, that was it.
That wasn't so bad.
And then I saw you speaking one day, and I was like, he's just Craig.
Yeah.
He's not like I'm like, he's making mistakes. He's just talking, and then you're making fun of yourself.
Yep. Yep.
And that's when I said,
gold.
oh, I could be Joe DiChiara. I don't have to so what if I screw up?
And you know what? And here's a key point. If you try to be someone else because you don't think you're good enough, so you try to model someone else, that is so bad. It is. I'd rather you get up on stage and make 1,000 mistakes, but you're you, than to have a polished script and that sounds like someone else. It doesn't work. I have a funny story. So a lot of my seminars, I'll reach out to the audience and say, who is deathly afraid of speaking on a stage? And 8 people raise their hand because they know, there's probably 100 or 200 that are afraid, but they don't want to admit it because they're afraid of what I'm about to do, which is what I do. So I bring one of those poor people on stage. So this little, she's probably she was like 40 years old. Get this, from the Philippines. She really was. And I bring her on stage and she is dying. And I give her a microphone and I leave the stage. So she's on stage all by herself. And I'm in the audience and I say to her, okay, I'll make up a name, Janet. Okay, Janet, just tell everyone what you do. And she was nervous for the first 10 seconds. But I'm going to make a very long story short. I swear to you, I could not get her off the stage in 10 minutes. She just kept going and going. And that's what it is. You got to throw yourself into the fire. Throw yourself into the fire. It might be not perfect. And, Glenn Morshower, our friend Glenn, who's an actor, this is another thing. Every time we have an audition, I used to be an actor. Every time Glenn would go on an audition for a role, and every time I would go on an audition, we would audition, then we'd get in the car, and we did it again in the car. It was way better than the audition because you're relaxed and you go, oh, I should have done that. Well, every time you say I should have done that, then you do it the next time. And that's why the next time is always better. So this woman, 10 minutes, she was great. And she realized, that wasn't as bad as I thought. Because we all, like Joe, said 6 months he's going crazy and stressing over what this is. And then he gets up there, he realizes, that wasn't so bad. And that's what we have to do in everything we do. Whether you write a book, whether you do a podcast, whether you get up on stages, whether you get your first meeting for a new client that wants you to do their accounting, it's the same exact thing. Everything. You got to practice. You got to do it over and over and over.
It's practice. So one of the things that you taught me was always show up. Always show up because you never know who's watching.
Yeah.
So and your story about how you got hooked
Air
up with air supply, maybe
Yeah.
because
So
that
I will share the story and then we'll go into that. But it's funny, Joe, it just happened today. It just happened 2 hours ago and in a weird scenario. So I want to point out what just happened. We were outside we had a lot of wind the last 2 days in our house in California. And so a lot of trees were broken. And I get on a ladder and I'm trying to get to a palm tree, a fawn, I think they're called, trying to cut off this big gigantic leaf that is 8 feet long. But I didn't have a ladder high enough. So this gardener comes to my house, sees me, and he has this tool that he goes, let me get that for you. I'm like, oh, thank you. He's not even my gardener. He was down the street. So he gets up on my ladder and he cuts it off with this long tool. And I said, thank you so much for doing that. Thank you. He didn't have to come over. He just saw me struggling with something, came over. And I said, let me ask you a question. Do you cut down trees? He goes, yeah, that's one of the things I do. I said, come to my backyard. I need these trees cut down. How much? He goes, $800. I'm like, done. So because he showed up to help me, he just got an $800 job just because he showed up. And that's the way the world works. So back to what Joe was saying. I graduated college in 1983 and I got a job at a theater in Long Island, New York, near New York City. And I was just, I worked backstage. I would get drinks for bands that came in. I'd get them towels. I'd make sure they had what they needed. So bands would come in.
So you
Yeah.
went to you got a 4-year bachelor's
Yep.
degree
In business.
in business. You also did a lot of drama. You were in the drama thing,
Yep.
right?
I was an actor. Yeah.
You come out, you graduate, and your parents must have been so proud of you because you got a job making as little money as you could
I
possibly
think I
make.
made $3.85 an hour working
That was the
backstage
minimum.
at the theater. Instead of
Yeah.
using my business degree, I wanted to be an actor, and I figured I'd get a job at a theater because maybe I'll meet some actors. So
Yeah.
I literally have the check stubs, made $3.85 an hour back in 1983. So I get
Yeah.
this job 2 weeks out of college. Air Supply comes in and does 2 shows. So I'm, like I said, a runner backstage. I get them drinks, I get them towels, and I'm scheduled. They were there for a Friday night show and a Saturday night show. Friday night, I worked the show. And so they're backstage. I meet them just for a second. I get them drinks, I get them towels, I get them anything they need. I was a runner backstage, a gopher, it's called. So I just, I worked that Friday show, but I did it very well. I had a positive attitude and I ran around, and whatever they needed, I got them. So the next night, I'm not scheduled to work, but my mother wants to go see Air Supply and she wants me to take her to the show. So I take my mom to the show. I figured,
Wait, you skipping. What did she say?
well, that's funny that you remember that. A week before, my mother loves Air Supply, loves Air Supply. And a week before they came into town, what was that?
I don't know.
Hold on. Okay, something just popped up on my screen. That was weird.
Yeah.
So a week before the show, the 2 Air Supply shows, she says to me, just in our house, wouldn't it be weird if they asked you to go on tour with them? And I'm like, Mom, I thought you stopped smoking. What are you talking about? Like, why would you? Like, there was other bands and comedians that came. She never said that, but she said, wouldn't it be weird if Air Supply asked you to go on the road? No one believes me when I say that, because what happened on that Saturday night, I go with my mom to the show. She goes, during the show, she says, you work here. I want you to get me backstage because I want to meet the band. I'm like, great. My mother's a groupie. So I take my mom backstage to meet the band, of which I don't know them. I only met them the night before because I got them drinks. So I introduce a band. This is my mom. Mom, this is the band that I don't know. Anyway, so this big 6'5", 350-pound security guard for Air Supply walks up to me and he goes, you were the guy that was working here last night, right? And I'm like, I look up and I'm like, yes, I am, Mr. Very Large Man. And he goes, how much do you make a week here? And I thought, it's not none of his business, but he was huge. So I said, answer the question. So I said about $150 a week. And he said, how would you like to quadruple that? And so many things went through my mind of what this man wanted me to do to him for $600 a week. But I figured, I'm in. I will do whatever you want, sir. So he said, the band saw you working last night. They loved your positive attitude and your energy, and they want to know if you want to go on the road. To make a long story short, they sent a limousine to my house the next day. They took me to the airport. I got on a Learjet and met them in Wallingford, Connecticut, and toured with them for 7 years, simply because I was always doing my best just in case someone was watching. And my mother was like, I don't know. I just had this premonition that they were going to ask
Isn't
you.
that?
And there it was. Yeah. Weird. It was a God thing, totally.
And I take that when I teach my accounting classes, because we got all this AI stuff going on now.
Yeah.
And people are, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And I say, we're in a service business, right, Craig? You serve people, and that's what you said about the guy with the tree, and
Gardener.
you
Yeah.
have a lot of trees to have to spend $800.
I have no, it's palm trees. They're like 40 feet high.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I remember, yeah, I have a photogenic memory. I don't know why I remember this stuff, but I
That's
remember
good.
being in what park was that with you in Babylon, and I said, "How did you get a gig with Air Supply?" And I remember you saying, "I don't know."
It
But
was just crazy.
it was your attitude and
They just here's the thing, and our friend Glenn Morshower, who's a very, very, very well-known actor, he's been in 200 films that many of you have seen. He always says, you know, when I go on an audition, I'm just as good as all the other actors in the room, but I'm fun. I people just want to be around me. They just want me
yeah,
on the set. And so what I always try to do is whenever I speak somewhere, I just try to be I try to help out where I can. I try to be accessible. I try to be fun. You know, we play and have a lot of fun, and so just people hire me because they just want me in the room. You know,
yeah,
and if there's anything like we teach people how to become an expert in the field, but if you're an expert, but I'm going to say a bad word, but if you're an ass and no one wants to be around you, that you could position yourself as an expert, but if you're not a nice person and fun to be around and helpful, you're not going to be successful. So
yeah. I
that's
don't.
the key.
You know, when Larry was here, the first time he was here, we were at a restaurant. He's like, "Are there any grumpy people in the Philippines?" And I was like, "Yeah, me." But
You're the only
yeah,
one.
I don't think it's a whole different. I don't know when you were touring with
No, they're very Filipino people are amazing. They're so nice. But if
yeah,
they know somebody from the United States that's grumpy, I'm talking
yeah,
about that we have a lot of grumpy people in the US, especially after Tuesday.
yes.
There's a
The
lot
yeah.
of grumpiness going on right now.
We don't talk about religion and
No,
politics.
we stay away from that. Yeah.
So yeah, always show up, and that's why, you know, sometimes we do workshops, and I remember we've done webinars where like 2 people showed up,
Yeah,
and I still do it. I'm like,
I do. Yeah.
but like 100 people showed up.
Yeah,
So
I do webinars a lot, and I have no ego in this. I honestly will still do a webinar if there's one person, because if I figure if I could get through, if I could teach that one person something, then my job is done. I did good. You know.
so you know, I have to tell you something, and you know, this is the truth. You're really an inspiration
Thank
to a
you.
lot of people, and I'll tell you why. Uh, you know, you're very successful. You know people all over the world. I mean, can't go through, you know, all the stages you've been on, all the people you've met. And the truth is that you have no real talent. You're not really good at anything. I mean, you don't sing, you don't play an instrument, and
No.
you toured with one of the biggest rock bands ever, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. No, I can't sing. I can't play an instrument, or everyone else in my family can. But you know what? I I okay, Axl Rose. Let's call Axl a little grumpy. We could call Axl a little grumpy.
okay.
I was hired to put him in a good mood so he could go on stage. That's my
Yes,
wheelhouse. I can
yeah.
inspire
No,
the
the truth
dance off.
is
Yeah,
your claim to fame, I think, is number one, your tenacity
thank you. Yep.
and your attitude.
Yeah.
And you know, I want to talk about how you got on with Guns N' Roses and what that was like for a couple of minutes. But then I want to talk about Natasha
Okay.
and
Yep.
in her story.
Yeah,
as
so
well.
Guns N' Roses, the security guard, not the one that hired me, another one was hired over the 7 years. The security guard for Air Supply, through a total weird, fluky situation, became the manager of Guns N' Roses before they were Guns N' Roses. So before they were huge, you know. And so he's with them for about 2 years, and then Use Your Illusion hits, you know, after Appetite for Destruction. But they're about to go on this 4-year world tour, and the security guard calls me up and he goes, "This is what he said. There's one guy that I know in this world that can keep Axl Rose happy." And he called me up and he goes, "Craig, I need you to go back on the road." I'm like, "Doug, I don't want to. What would I have to do?" "You have to take care of Axl Rose." I'm like, "Whoa, whoa. Well, I've heard stories." And he goes, "Yeah, but I'm going to pay you a lot of money." I'm like, "Okay, I'll do it." So that's how I got Guns N' Roses. He goes, "There's one guy that I feel can handle this situation." And he said I was that guy. And so I toured with them, you know, for almost 4 years. It was the most incredible tour ever. Very stressful. We had, you know, 80 to 200,000 people at every concert. It was crazy.
Jesus.
High security. But, you know, I toured the world numerous times with them and had a great time.
And you wrote a book about it.
I did. I wrote,
Which you don't want to talk about.
Welcome to My Jungle, I wrote. So, you know, they have a song, Welcome to the Jungle. I wrote, Welcome to My Jungle. It's available on Amazon if anyone wants to go buy it. But
And
yeah, it's
one
just
of the
funny
worst things
stories.
one of the stupidest ideas you ever had, right?
Yes. Yeah, in hindsight, I wish I didn't write that book because
But it's out there. Next time you come to the Philippines, Craig will give you a free copy and sign it for you. But
well,
you
they have
did
to bring
have
it to me.
a
I don't know how
really
many
funny
copies.
story in there about when they were shooting. I think there was a war breaking out in one of these countries.
No. Oh, that. Well, we that happened numerous times. We were in Venezuela and uh, there was a coup or something, a government coup, and they were like blowing up hotels, and they blew up our floor of our hotel 5 hours after we left. So we missed that one by 5 hours.
I
We were
didn't. I don't
shot at.
remember.
We were shot at in Bogota, Colombia, because
That's the one.
yeah, there were two promoters. One promoter got the gig, the Guns N' Roses. The other one didn't, and I guess he was unhappy. So his people were shooting at our limos as we got off the plane. Italy, we were. Axel was. We were okay. So we always have these fake limos that someone that looks like Axel runs into that limo and they follow that limo back to the hotel. We have a decoy limo. And then we get in the other limo, and usually no one's following us. Well, this time, the decoy limo got to Italy first, our hotel. I forget, Modena, Modena, Italy. And they get there first. But someone figured out that that was a fake limo. So they went to the back of the hotel and we were there. And within seconds, there was like 1,000 people in between our limo and the door of the hotel. And Axel, it's me, Axel, his bodyguard, and my assistant are in the limo. And out of nowhere, Axel goes, "I'm making a run for it," without us getting out first. And he just opens the door of the limo, and there's like thousands of people trying to touch him. And we're like, "Oh my gosh." So we jump out of the limo and we try to make a path for him. It was a total melee. And all of a sudden, a gun goes off in the middle. And it was a cop. And he just shot a bullet in the air and everyone stopped. And we're all checking. were we hit? You know, and then so everyone stopped because they were freaked out, and we said run, and we ran into the hotel and we got in. But Axel's like, I'm making a run for it. I'm like, what are you talking about? Can't
Yeah.
make a run for it. We have to make a path. Oh yeah. So yeah, lots of guns during the tour.
Yeah. So we could spend a long time on Guns N' Roses stories.
Yeah, that's enough of that. Yeah.
So let's talk about Natasha, and because a lot of times people, well, I'll let you talk. There is one funny quote that she said that I'll never forget.
What did she say?
I didn't have that when I came in here.
Oh God. All right, so I'll tell that story. My wife
So
has
now you're married. How old were your children? They were
5,
young.
3, and 1. 5, 3, and 1.
And now
And,
they're adults.
So hey, before I tell that story, I don't want to forget. My wife does have the greatest quote that I've ever heard, a real one. She says, "The thing that's the thing is never the thing."
Oh,
So
she
every
said
time we meet someone and they're having a bad day and they curse you out on road rage, that's not what's going on. There's something else going on in that person's life. So our job is to love them and spread joy, because the thing that's the thing is never the thing. Something else is going on.
I have
So
to
that's my
remember.
wife's. I love that thing. I love that thing. Yeah, that quote.
Yeah.
All right, so it's 2006. My kids are 5, 3, and 1. And my wife has had like a dry cough for like a couple of months. And we're like, just said, we should go to a doctor, just check that out. It was nothing. It was just a dry cough. It was nothing. She felt fine. So she goes in and goes to a doctor, and it was fine. They take a couple of chest x-rays and we go home. And then on a Friday night, we go back because one of the doctors wanted to see her again because of what they saw on a chest x-ray. So we go back in on a Friday night. It's like 5 o'clock. And this ear, nose, and throat doctor says, hey, a pathologist wanted to do a fine needle aspiration, it's called, in her neck. In other words, a student eat needle in her neck and take out something. And so we did that. And at that doctor, they sent us to another doctor to check on something else. And when we got to that other doctor, they made us go into the room really fast. And all these people are in the waiting room, and we're like, I know I'm a rock star, but I didn't think they'd take us faster than everybody else. And we didn't know what was going on. But every doctor we went to 4 doctors this night. And at one of them, some nurse is saying on the phone in another room, yes, she's a mother, she has 3 kids, and we think, we need to address this right away. And I remember my wife saying, oh, that poor mother. I don't know what's happening, but she's probably going to get some bad news. Not thinking it was her. And so we go back to the pathologist that did the fine needle aspiration. And they said, okay, we need to do another one, just to make sure of something. And now we're going, what the heck are they looking for? So she comes back with the results, but she can't give us the results. She said the doctor will call you on Monday because I can't give results. And my wife is like, no, you know something and you're going to tell me I'm not leaving until you tell me I can handle it, whatever this is. I have 3 kids at home. I am not going to be able to sleep this weekend. You need to tell me what this is. And after a lot of begging, the pathologist says, all right, I have good news and bad news. The bad news is you have cancer, but the good news is it's Hodgkin's lymphoma and it's a curable cancer. And that's when my wife, as Joe just quoted, yelled at her and said, I didn't have cancer when I walked in here. And it took everything in my power not to start laughing, because I'm like, honey, I think you had it before tonight. I think you might have had it already. Yeah, so it was bad. It was very bad, but it was stage 2.5. And luckily it did not go into the bone marrow. And she had like 8 months of chemo. It was horrible. It was horrible. But it's been 2006. It's now 18 years later. And after 10 years, she was deemed cured of Hodgkin's lymphoma. And she hasn't, knock on wood, have it come back after 18 years. So we're totally good. So yeah. But it was, I had 3 kids. It was all over her body. It was horrible. But
And I remember she said they told her she was going to lose her hair, right?
yeah, and so over the chemo, they're like, you're gonna lose your hair and other things, and you're gonna have to do radiation after. Well, I don't know what happened, but she did not lose her hair. It thinned
I
out a little.
remember you said, I'm not losing my hair.
She tells the doctor, no, I'm not losing my hair. And the doctor's like, you are. And she's like, no, I'm not. Yeah, you are. It's 100%. Well, now it's like 99.99999 because she didn't lose her hair.
She didn't
And
lose any.
and then we didn't do at the end, she had clear PET scans, but they said you should still do radiation, and it was near the heart. And she's like, I ain't doing radiation. And they're like, there's no guarantee the chemo killed everything. There might be some microscopic cells in your body.
Right.
He goes, no, there's not. I'm good. I got this. I don't have it anymore. And she didn't do the radiation, and knock on wood again, but she did not have any microscopic cells. And I feel if she did the radiation, that would have probably hurt her heart, because it was right next to the heart, the cancer.
Yeah.
So we made the choice, we prayed a lot. We prayed a lot.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get at. Because I
noticed
know
that you guys do a prayer before this webinar. So when I saw that, I got a little emotional, because that's who I am too. We do that. That's how we live.
Yeah, and that's really I'm glad that you brought that up, because that's one of the big reasons why I'm here, Craig. They're very
Really?
spiritual.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted you to tell that story, because you could laugh about it now, but I know you had a lot of things going on at the time.
Oh gosh.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, was that when you were running the minor league baseball team?
I was trying to, yeah. I was trying to I was trying to start another business. I owned an advertising agency. I owned a theater, a live theater, and I'm trying to bring a minor league baseball team to my local community in Southern California. That alone was a full-time job. And now my wife was just diagnosed with cancer, and she owns a modeling agency, of which now I have to run, because we have to focus on her getting better. My life, I was in the hospital 4 times that year for panic attacks. I thought I was having a heart attack. And then it got to the point, again, we laugh at it now, but it got to the point the 3rd time I went in there, they're like, you're back? You're fine. You're not having a heart attack. No, this time it's real. This time, this is it. This is it. They're like, nope. And they do all the tests again. You must just like paying the ER costs, because you're fine. And I went another time, and they're like, I got to know them. Dude, are you serious? You're not having a heart attack. You don't have any plaque in your body. I know, but the last 2 months, I think I got a lot of plaque. No, you don't. No, you're fine.
So you became a hypochondriac.
No, I'm done. I'm done. I have faith. I have faith in God. Seriously, I have faith.
Yeah. So now you always have a lot on your plate. I know that.
Yes.
I think
I'm way better now. I'm way better now. But yes,
I think you're one of these people that you're like, if you don't have anything on your plate, you're gonna.
yeah. Then I'll be
What are-
back
Yeah.
panic attacks again. So now
So,
I have a mastermind. I'm a speaker, and now I partnered with this guy John Reese, and I have a managed bands. I'm back in the music
oh,
industry.
so I'm glad you brought that up because now your son is actually a real rock star, right?
Yeah, he is. He is. I have three of them are all musicians, but my middle son, his band is called Thredge. Let's put that in the chat so everybody goes to Spotify. And I haven't been on. Thredge is the name of the band. You could go to Spotify and
So they have? Did they do their second album?
yeah, they released
They,
their second album called Dreams and Nightmares, and they're a heavy metal band, and they're doing great. Anyway, they're playing a lot of gigs, shows, concerts around Southern California, and they're about to go on tour in summer of 2025 with some well-known bands. So yeah, so they're doing. Here's their logo. Hold on, it's in the magazine that I'm going to show in a minute. But that's Thredge.
yes, nice.
There they are. So anyway, see, he's the drummer. My son is the drummer in the band, and they're doing very, very well. My son has played Lollapalooza. It's a big festival out. He has played Bottle Rock, another big festival. Hopefully, we'll be in the Philippines someday, and I'll give you all free tickets if you still know Joe. And not even joking, if you're still with Joe and we are in the Philippines, we'll give you free tickets, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, and this is being recorded, right, Liz?
Yeah, no, I no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Now you got to go like Threads though on Spotify, so I get it. That's the deal.
Okay, I didn't know they were
Anyway,
on.
so they're doing good. So yeah,
on-
I'm back in the music industry. We manage a couple of bands, and we're putting on seminars of how to break into the music industry because my partner John was the tour manager for Guns N' Roses. Him and I know so many people in the industry. So now we're going to teach people how to break in to the music industry. And then we manage bands and we do a couple of other things. So we're called Disrupt Artist Management Network. That's our
Nice. So if anybody wants to be a rock star, you have a connection now. You can hire Craig to.
No, you don't even hire me. You just if you have a band, I'm putting the thing in there. So if anyone knows anyone that wants to be a rock star, just go to this website, disruptartistmanagementnetwork.com. Just keep us. We'll have a
All right. So
Facebook page.
the last thing I want you to share with us, because we go through this a lot, believe it or not, especially in the accounting industry, with overwhelm.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, when I teach these courses and I put my students through a lot because they all have to finish a project and it's always, they wait until you know what I tell them, Craig? I give them the Sigma Gamma approach to taking tests, and I said, don't do what I did. Don't wait until the last minute.
Me
Okay.
too. Me too.
So,
Procrastination, yeah.
and we have some students that actually have their own accounting business.
Wow.
And
Cool.
So that story about your wife, what would you tell people? What's the best way to deal with the stress and the overwhelm?
Yeah, here's the foundation, I believe, of not of having less stress and no overwhelm. Organization. It's all about organization. Now, if you guys came to my house, you will notice in my house, I have nothing on my desk. I have files that are labeled of things that I'm doing right now, projects. I have a to-do list on this paper. This is my to-do list. Every day, every night at 10 o'clock at night, I write down the 5, 10, or 20 things I need to do the next day. And I play a game with myself. The next day, I try to finish all of them as early as possible, because then the rest of the day, if I don't want to work or play golf, I feel I accomplished a ton of stuff already. But even better, if I finish my to-do list at 10 a.m., in my mind, anything I do from 10 o'clock a.m. in the morning till midnight, I feel I have a jump on everybody else in the world. I'm doing way more than anybody else. And my mindset takes away all overwhelm, because I'm like, I did everything I needed to do and
Interesting.
more. So even tomorrow, if I don't work tomorrow, I'm ahead of the game, but I will work the next day. I always try to be ahead of everybody else. Now, there's a guy in my mastermind. He's a famous musician. His name is Blasco, Blasko. He's the bass player for Ozzy Osbourne when he was on tour, and he's now the bass player for Rob Zombie, heavy metal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's huge bass player, but he's trying to break into the speaking world. He's hired me to teach him how to become a speaker, how to write a
I
book.
saw he was in the magazine.
Yeah, he's in the magazine. Yep. And his thing is he tours, and they go till 11, 12 o'clock at night. But when he's off the road, he gets up at 4:30 in the morning. And I said to him, why do you get up at 4:30 in the morning? You're a rock star. He goes, I get up at 4:30 in the morning because nobody else does. That's why. And I get chills every time I say that. That's your only reason? Yep. I'm ahead of everybody else. By the time it's 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., when everyone else is getting up, I have 3 hours on them, 4 hours on them.
Yeah.
So
I like
your
system better.
Me too. I'm not getting up at 4:30.
You know what? You know what Elon Musk's system is?
What?
He just works 100 hours a week.
Yeah.
That's what he said. He's like,
yeah,
if I work 100 hours a week,
right? If you enjoy what you're doing, like I'm a speaker, marketing guy. I run a mastermind, and now I manage bands. I swear to you, I don't think anything that I do is work. I have fun. I have fun. Look at this. I have this Guns N' Roses thing behind me. I do a lot of Zooms like this with great people like Joe and other people. I don't think this is work. This is where
I
get
agree.
to talk to people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's my magazine, Rockstar Keynote Speakers Magazine. Just so you know, Joe DeChara, your guru, is going to be in the December issue and beyond.
Yes. When's the deadline for that?
December next week. December 15th. You got a week.
Okay. All right. So does anybody have any questions for Mr. Duswalt? You could ask him anything, right? If you have a question, just put it in the chat.
Yeah, you can put it in the chat or unmute yourself.
Do you speak Tagalog, Craig?
What?
Do you speak Tagalog?
Sure. No, I don't. I wish I did. I was going to try to learn. Hi, everyone. How are you doing today? And then I forgot.
Yeah, that's okay.
Do you speak it yet, Joe?
Hindi.
Oh.
Hindi. That means
hyperventilation. Well, I think that's the same as overwhelm and stress. Is if you're organized, and here's the other thing too. If you know what you're doing, like don't choose to go into business in something you don't know what you're doing. I know so many people. I'm going to be this. Why? Because I heard it makes a lot of money. Oh God, don't do that. Because you got to know it. You got to have a passion. If you have a passion for what you're doing, and if you research on how to do it, and do Zooms like this, and go to Chat GPT and do some AI stuff. You know, I use Chat GPT and something called Quantum Net. Joe and I use AI, but I use it every day, and it makes my life so much easier because it gives me the blueprint of everything I need to do. So if I need to do something, I ask ChatGPT how to do it, or what I should do, or give me some tips on doing it, or actually write it for me. And then I just adjust what it tells me and I make it sound like me. So hyperventilation will go away because the overwhelm will go away. And now you have a trusted source to prove, if nothing else, that what you were thinking is right, because it just told you probably what you are thinking. So that should take away, like, specific hyperventilation. I don't know how to get rid of that, but doctor probably does.
Well, it all the hyperventilation is actually
It's
in your
overwhelm
mind.
stress. Yeah.
It's right. It's in your
Don't do
mind.
drugs though. I will say this, like I easily could have turned to drugs, like Xanax and all those things. When my wife was diagnosed with cancer, I'm having panic attacks. I had 4 jobs, full-time jobs, and I'm running a theater. I easily could have turned to drugs, but no, because that's a temporary fix, and then you get addicted, and then you're screwed. So
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, and you probably, a lot of rock stars.
Yeah, I saw it.
That's, one thing I want to point out is you don't get to be Air Supply and Guns N' Roses without running a tight ship.
100%.
Right.
Even Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Like everyone thinks of Guns N' Roses, party animals, crazy. And don't get me wrong, they did. But I think Joe is touching on this. Slash, the guitarist for Guns N' Roses, every single day to this day, I've known him since 1990, 2090, 34 years I've known him. Every single day, every day, for 34 years, plus probably the 10 years before I knew him, he plays the scales on his guitar. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. He just plays the scales, the foundation, the fundamentals, just to keep his fingers, whatever, loose, and just to do the fundamentals.
So he's one of, if not the
best guitarists in the world.
Players.
Yeah.
And he practices every day.
Every day, the fundamentals. Axl Rose, every day, warms up for an hour in the shower when he takes a shower. Warms up his voice for 1 hour. La la. I can't do it now because I'm hoarse, but la 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 la, that type thing. For an hour. And then after a show, cools down his voice in the shower for 30 more minutes. Wow. Every day. So if you want to be successful, you have to be disciplined. You have to do things that are the boring things just to keep you sharp, just to keep you relevant, just to keep you in the game. You have to do these things every single day of your life. Otherwise, everyone will pass you. They'll just pass you.
Yes. So Marielle had a follow-up. She said, meaning we have to find
the meaning of what we're doing. Well, I think she means like the passion, right? You have to find what you love to do. And like if you're on the accounting CPA, I would think there's different types. Like I know an accountant that only has clients that are baseball players. That's her passion, is baseball, and she only does the books for baseball players.
Oh,
whether they're pros or in the minor leagues, but she knows that piece so well. Like I know a CPAs that only deal with speakers because they just know that world. So if you have a world that you love You can even, fine tune your customer base to something that you love so much because you get to be in that industry, that world. So you can make it fun for yourself,
I call it, your why.
Yeah.
Simon Sinek, right? Start with why.
Start with
So,
why, yeah.
yeah, we talk about that all the time, and it can't be money.
No,
It can't be, oh, I want to make money, because
no,
that's
no.
the money
If
is a
you
result,
if
right?
you are good at what you do, you're professional, you have a passion for it, you love doing it, people will want to be with you because they can tell. Like if I can tell, if a CPA came to me and says, "Yeah, I think I could do your books. Yeah, it'll be. Yeah, I do this. I do this so many days. This is all I do." I'd be like, "Bye, see you later, dude. I don't care if you're the best in the, but I can't. I wouldn't be able to talk to you on the phone. I'd want to kill my."
That's a great point, because that's what, when I'm teaching my students about how to get US clients,
Yeah.
they want a person,
They
and
want, they want you to be excited about their books. All right,
yeah,
let's do this. Let's do this. All right. What you got? What you got? What do you got? Show me your
yes.
P&L. Show me your thing. Make it exciting for them. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point, Joe.
All right, Mr. Duswalt. So I don't think we have any other questions. Do you have
That's
any
good.
words of wisdom?
You know what? It's funny that you brought this up, but I always end with show up. Is the words of wisdom is, and that means show up physically to this, like to things, go to things. Don't just do Zoom calls for the rest of your life. Go to things, go to networking groups, go to associations, but show up physically, but also show up mentally as well. Organizing yourself, take care of your body, take care of yourself, take care of your mind. You gotta show up physically
Yes.
and mentally. Yeah.
And I wanna introduce you to a friend of mine, Marianne. Are you able to uh, unmute yourself, Marianne?
Hi, Greg. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Marianne. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. How about you?
I'm doing wonderful now that I get to hang with Joe.
Yes. So, Marianne, you have any questions for Craig?
Yeah, I'm listening. So for those you mentioned networking, which Joe knows that part of showing up is networking. So we've realized after pandemic, online is good, but even myself is a proven test that proof that networking is really effective. Then introduce your businesses, because normally in the event you just how are you, what do you do? So what can you say on doing that networking?
Yeah. So here's my networking trick. So I hate networking. I hate it because I
Me too.
I know Joe won't believe me because I'm very extroverted. You would seem that I'm like an extrovert, but in a crowd, in a networking crowd, I'm a kind of laid back guy. So I don't want to be like the center of attention unless I know everybody. So, people hand out business cards. Everybody hands out business cards in a networking group. They go up to someone, "Hi, my name is Craig. Oh, what do you do for a living?" "Well, I I teach marketing, and I call it Rockstar marketing." And then they're like, "Oh, that sounds cool. Why Rockstar?" Which is what I want them to ask. I want them, "Why do you call it Rockstar marketing?" And then I'd say, "Well, I used to tour with Air Supply and Guns N' Roses." As soon as I say that, I win, because then I tell Guns N' Roses stories, Air Supply stories. But now you're going to say, "Well, I didn't tour with Air Supply and Guns N' Roses." So what do? You, Marianne. So instead of handing out business cards, I write books, small books. Here, wait 1 second. I write these kind of books. This is my son, Tyler, at 10 years old. It's a little book. It's 6 inches, no, 4 inches by 4 inches, something like that. And it's just a bunch of quotes and a bunch of tips, 25 tips on how to blog. So this, instead of handing out a business card at these meetings, if you handed out just a little book on, Joe's written numerous books, hand out these books instead of a business card, you're going to stand out from everybody else in that networking group handing out business cards. And then they're going to get this for free, but it only costs like 49 cents each. And it's a 64-page book. It's 64 pages, even though it's short, but people love this instead of a business card. So all you have to do is write a small book, hand them out at networking events, and then you will stand out from everybody else handing out business cards, and they're going to get to know you because you just gave them your tips for free, and they're going to love you because you gave them a free book. You just made a friend for life. These little books.
Yes.
Of
Great,
which
great
Joe's written
tip.
many.
And it works. So is that good, Marianne?
Yeah, thank you.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
so now you can, I talked to Marianne about co-authoring a book.
Oh, good.
And yeah, you taught me about writing books, and I remember when I would go on prospecting calls and I would give them my book.
Yeah.
And how many accountants have a book?
Right. No, okay, that's a great question. I know a ton of accountants, and I think 2 of them, maybe 3, have written a book. Joe and 2
maybe
other
Morgan.
ladies. Yeah.
Oh,
Debbie Woodson and Debbie Morgan wrote one.
okay.
Yeah.
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 So
But it makes you stand out, man. I'm telling you. If you
It-
go
it
on a
does.
meeting, if you go on a meeting to get a client and you give them your book instead of a business card, and your book is about how you will do taxes for them, how you can make it easy for them to do their taxes. Oh my gosh. You win.
yeah, you would have been proud of me when we turned my course into a book.
Yeah.
And Luz was there.
Oh, I
We
remember this, yeah.
we
Yeah.
brought, like, we had 50 extra books. We brought them to the event, and I must have been there for an hour
Wow.
signing the books, Greg.
Yeah. Now, here's another thing when you write a book. You have to sign books as if you've done this your whole life. You can't say, "Oh, I don't want to sign it." No, you're a rock star. You sign the book as if you do this for a living. And it's all perception. It's like, "Oh my God,
And
this
then
is huge."
all the people, they were taking a picture of me with the book
Yeah.
and then posting it on social media.
Free advertising, baby.
But that's, I learned that from you. I
Yeah.
learned it from you, and it works.
I have so many pictures of me with people with their books.
Yeah, countless.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that's
I think we're done.
I think we're done.
I'm gonna go eat dinner. I know it's like breakfast for you guys.
No, you're not done yet, Craig. Don't be going in there. Where's Eileen? We're gonna take a picture.
Oh, okay.
We do the pictures.
How do you do
Yeah.
this?
So here, Geraldine wants to know, how do they join your mastermind group?
I'm gonna give you the link. How's that?
Yes. So Craig will put in the chat how to contact him.
Wait, let me minimize my screen for a second. How are you taking a picture? You're taking a picture of the Zoom, you're saying?
Yeah. Eileen, you got it, right?
Yes. Please open up your camera.
Wait, wait, I was putting something in the chat.
Yes.
So let me like make believe I'm smiling. So there's the link in the chat.
Thank you.
Yeah, baby. Is my camera not open?
Yeah, we can see you.
Oh, there we go. Oh, and
please
there's
open
everybody
up-
else. I see.
Yeah.
Wow, look at all these people, Joe. You're a rock
Yes,
star.
open up your camera.
Everyone open up your camera. I want this picture. I want this picture.
We will
Joe.
send you one. Okay, everybody, have a great smile. 1, 2, 3. Look at your camera. One more. There. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. That's
All
awesome.
right. Thank you, Mr. Duswalt.
Thank you, Joe. I love you, brother.
Love you too. All
Bye,
right.
everyone. Thank you
Bless
so much.
everyone.
Thank you
Have a
so
great
much.
weekend.
Happy weekend.